Welcome to Mystica Mornings, the spiritual podcast that will guide you on a journey of inner transformation and discovering your soul self. I'm McKeely, your host and Mystica mentor. If you are ready to begin living a radically authentic life and break free from your cocoon, grab your favorite beverage, light some incense, get comfy, and let's dive in together. Good morning, beautiful soul. Today I'm gonna do a quick episode about how you can set your day up that is most supportive with your human design, okay? And this is such a good one, and I am so excited to dive into that. So go ahead, get your human design chart pulled up. We're going to be looking at your arrows. So in your body graph, you have the two columns going down the side, and then in the middle, there's all of those shapes, all of the centers. Up near the head and the ajna, the top two triangles, you'll see 4 arrows, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. We are going to be focusing on the 2 arrows on the left. So while you're getting that pulled, you can check the show notes if you need a link to generate your chart for free. So check the show notes for that. And while you're doing that, you can pause it and then come back. But we're going to do some card pulls to see how we can really work our light this week. All right, let's see what we got here. How can everyone listening to this collectively work their light when they hear this? Not even just the week that this episode is released, but overall. All right, we got two juicy cards today. So the first one is take that leap of faith. If there's something that you've been feeling nudged to and you've been contemplating it and your authority is screaming yes, but your logical mind is saying, I don't know, I'm scared, can we do this? This is your sign to take that leap of faith. If your authority is saying yes and you're still hesitating, take that leap. Take that leap, right? Just like when we used to learn to ride bikes. If you ever learned to ride a bike, you started with the training wheels and it was a little wobbly, but you got confident. And then you took the training wheels off. And maybe your mom and dad came up behind you and would hold you from the back to make sure you was balanced. And then eventually they would let go and you would go by yourself. And I'm willing to bet that 99% of us probably turned over, fell off, lost our balance, and stumbled off at some point. Probably multiple times if you're anything like me. And yeah, we fell, we got off track, and it hurt for a couple of seconds, but then we got up, we brushed it off, and we got back on the bike. And that is what's going to happen when you take that leap of faith. It's okay to stumble and fall, but know that the universe has your back, and you can always get back up and get back on that bicycle. And then the second card that came out was the Priestess. And this is all about stepping up and becoming that leader. So if you've been considering, and maybe that is your leap of faith. Maybe that leap of faith is, applying for a leadership position. Or running for some kind of office, a school board, a PTA position. Right? How are you being called to step up and lead? I would journal on that. If you're like, ooh, this is calling me out, I would journal on that. How can I step up and lead? Okay, I feel like those were 2 really good ones to start this week out. And I feel like this is just perfect with this episode, taking that leap of faith, stepping up and leading. When we step up and lead, a lot of us are scared to do that because of the time commitment. How are we going to fit this in? What is that going to look like in my schedule? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you can develop your day, set your day up based on your human design. So if you look at your body graph, you see the 4 arrows, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. We are going to focus on the ones on the left, okay? Now, these arrows are either left facing or right facing. And just to give you kind of like a little tip to help you kind of remember these, the way that I like to think about these arrows is if it's facing to the left, it is more structured and consistent and like masculine type energy. If it's facing to the right, it's more free, it's more flowy, and it's more feminine type energy. And I feel like in the spirituality realm, there's a lot of negativity around masculine versus feminine energy, but I just want to remind you that both are needed and both are beautiful, right? When we try to be too masculine or too feminine, that's when we create that imbalance, okay? So if you have left-facing arrows, and I'm saying the word masculine, if that is triggering for you, or if you're feeling resistance to that, I would just look deeper and see, why does it feel yucky for the term masculine energy to be used? Okay, don't know where that came from. Clearly Spirit needed that message to go to someone. So let's just dive in. So let's look at the top left arrow. So if this top left arrow is facing to the left, this means that you thrive with consistency. You thrive with having routines. So you get up in the morning and your morning routine is the exact same flow every day. You get up, you meditate, you journal, you work out. Maybe that's your routine. For work, maybe you have this routine where you come into the office, you log into your computer, you check your email, and then you check the appointments for the week. And then you move on to the next task and the next task. And you have this very like step-by-step process that you do things. Now, if you have a right-facing arrow, this means that you need variety. You need to mix things up. Doing the same thing day after day is going to get boring for you. It's going to become mundane for you. So with the morning routine, you don't have a step-by-step morning routine. Some mornings you'll wake up and you'll want to journal and meditate. Some mornings you'll wake up and you'll want to go outside and go for a walk or stretch. Some mornings you'll want to just read a book and sip some coffee. And that's the beauty of it. With that left facing, you get to have that consistency in that routine. And with the right facing, you get to have that free flow. You get to shake things up in a way that feels supportive for you. Now with the bottom left arrow, if it's facing to the left, this means that you thrive when you have a very full, active, structured schedule. So if you have a bottom left facing arrow, something like time blocking might be super supportive for you. Being able to see, this is the time I'm waking up, this is the time I'm starting work, this is the time I'm taking lunch break, so on and so forth. And really just having that full schedule. Even scheduling in your quote-unquote rest, right? If you're going to get crafty one day for some self-care, scheduling that in could be super supportive. Now, if your bottom left arrow is facing to the right, this means that you need more open space. You need a relaxed and flexible schedule. And in fact, time blocking might not even work for you at all. Maybe having something like a checklist would be more beneficial, because then you're saying, okay, these are the things I need to get done today. It doesn't matter what time they get done. They just need to get done, right? Now, this is going to look different for everyone, right? If you say you have a bottom left arrow that's facing to the left, where you need that active and that structure, but you're a projector, that might look different for a projector than, say, a manifester or a manifesting generator. So this is all about just playing with it and seeing what's most supportive for you. And also, like, notice the two mixed, right? If both of yours is facing to the left, both of your left arrows are facing to the left, having that structure, that routine, that I know what's coming next is going to be more supportive. If both of your arrows are facing to the right, then it's all about having the fluidity, being open, having that white space, being flexible, and just going with the flow. And if it's a combination, playing with that and seeing what feels most supportive, right? So I am going to make a graphic just for my visual people, and it'll be posted on Instagram. So be sure to go check that out. If you need that visual representation, go check that post out. And I would just highly encourage you to just grab a sheet of paper and write this down. Okay, my top left arrow is facing this way. This is what it means. My bottom left arrow is facing this way. This is what that means. And then start playing with it over the next several weeks. And in the next episode, we are going to talk about the right arrows, the two arrows on the right side of your body graph. And those are all around goal setting and achieving goals. So the two left arrows were all about setting up your day, creating these aligned habits. And the two arrows on the right are all about goal setting. So I cannot wait to dive into those with you in the next episode. If you have any questions, if you need extra support and you're like, I am so confused, what does it mean if these two are these two things? Just reach out to me. Message me, DM me on Instagram, post something in the Facebook group, and I would be more than happy to help you understand it even more. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this morning. Thank you so much for joining me for another Mystica morning. I hope something in today's episode really resonated and created a spark inside you. I cannot wait to chat again soon, but in the meantime, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Mystica Monarch and join the community in our private Facebook group, Discover Your Soul Self. Have a mystical day.